Welcome to the Policy and Regulatory Framework for GovTech stream. We would have 10 sessions in this stream, and we start with session 1, which is focusing on agile policy making to catalyze GovTech spaces, governance and digital transformation spaces. In this session, we would first start with various instruments of policy making. Then we would focus on how could policy making be more agile, look into various levels of implementing and the processes of agile policy making, look at tools for agile policy making, look at global best practices, and then also understand anticipated concerns in a country like India and how to resolve those concerns. Friends, as you would know, in policy and regulatory framework there are primarily 5 important instruments. The first one is an act. An act is a law made by the legislature like parliament, and if the parliament passes a bill, it is sent to the President of India, and after the agreement of President of India, the bill becomes an act. Bill is a proposal to make a new law. It is a document which outlines the proposed law and the policy behind that law. Policy. A policy basically contains the basic principles which guide government's actions. Guidelines. Guidelines are basically recommended as non-mandatory controls which serve only as a reference or explanation when no applicable standard is in place. There is also an instrument called as framework. A framework is a broad overview, an outline or a skeleton in an abstract form which provides various items that support a particular approach to achieve pre-decided objectives. So, we have an act, bill, policy, guidelines and framework. All these instruments, especially the policy which is like the base for an act to be formulated, must be agile and responsive to the needs and aspirations of citizens in a country. For policy to be agile, as I said in my introduction, we need to have a systems thinking approach and a design thinking approach. A systems thinking approach is to think holistically to leverage constantly changing environment. This is possible only through a robust feedback loop established by adequate data analytics and emerging technologies. Systems thinking also considers not just system as one unit, but the entire ecosystem as one unit, with the core emphasis that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Design thinking. Design thinking is a co-creative approach. It is also referred as participatory form of thinking or co-creation. Co-creation for socially meaningful and targeted ideas. And this can happen only through a framework which could be like inform, consult, involve, collaborate and empower the citizens, through which we evoke considerably important components of policy making. Globally, there are many tools for ensuring that policy making is agile. There are policy labs. Policy labs are reserved spaces to design public services using data analytics. Then there are regulatory sandboxes. Sandboxes are safe spaces to test products and services without any regulation or financial hurdles. Then we have multi-stakeholder collaborative platforms, which is ensuring collaboration between regulators and innovators so as to shorten the time to market. There is also an open data approach which permits public-private data sharing for innovating to benefit the entire society. So, we have 4 tools: policy labs, regulatory sandboxes, collaboration between regulators and innovators, and open data or public-private data sharing in an open manner to benefit society. Policy making could happen at a global level, at a national level or a local level. At global level, organizations like World Bank or ITU are organizing various international events and interventions desired to change the total global scenario, especially in wake of emerging technologies and internet possibilities. Then there is national level. At national level, we could have national regulatory frameworks, such as Sweden is using regulatory sandbox tool to test autonomous vehicles with effect of altering EU laws. At local level, we would refer to the nation states efforts or GovTech efforts to look at policy making in wake of emerging technologies. For example, in India, in Nagpur specifically, drones have been used to supply blood and medicines in rural areas, which led to reformulation of drone policy of India to create version 2.0. Similarly, in Philadelphia at USA, data analytics was used to identify high fire risk areas, which led to a new policy for environment and forest protection in USA. Respecting the previous discussion which we just had, we can comfortably say that agile policy making basically is composed of 4 steps. In the first step, there is multi-stakeholder collaboration where public, private, startups and citizens, they collaborate together. In second step, formulation of standards is done where ethical standards are formulated to ensure consumption and composition across multiple tiers of governance. In third step, interventions happen. New sources of authority are decided to govern new technologies. Regulators are decided. For example, in PDP, we got data authorities or data controllers. Finally, which is most important in agile policy making, which we often find unfortunately missing in several instances, is monitoring, controlling and a robust feedback loop. We need to have industry self-regulators, we need to have innovations where we trust our startups to innovate and give a feedback about society's consumption of these new technologies. So, there are 4 steps which ensure that policy making is agile, which include and close at feedback loop being the most important component. The aftermath of agile policy making is so very evident in Estonia. Estonia, as all of us know, is a place in Finland, has actually led to complete metamorphosis of its governance. Government of Estonia has established everything including digital citizenship, digital security, virtual business platforms, virtual education platforms and they also facilitate citizen interactions with the state through the use of electronic means. Similarly, you will be surprised to know, as I would have mentioned earlier, in Rwanda also in Africa, Rwanda, a place in Africa, is using medical drone initiative for delivering blood quickly to those in need of it. It was actually awarded in 2017 a Global Index Award. Needless to say, agile policy making is the right step towards meeting citizens' expectations. It also maximizes the sustainability of deliverables. It also helps in meeting the risk of failure more adequately and in a more agile fashion. However, in a country like India, it is meeting a lot of challenges. There is challenge of diversity, where we have different layers and different categories of citizens, each having their contextual needs. Hence, it could lead to lack of co-creation in policy making. Also, in a country like India, policies are usually created after the event has happened. The vertical and horizontal fragmented nature of federal system of our country is also creating some challenges for policy making to be non-agile. So, how do we meet these challenges? In a country like India, I always propose establishment of Center of Excellence for Agile Policy Making, which would amalgamate all other aspects related to frontier technologies or emerging technologies. It is through this center we could co-design and pilot new policies to accelerate the benefits of emerging technologies. It is this center which should focus on prototyping applications of all kinds of emerging technologies such as application of AI, blockchain, IoT, drones, etc. It is this center which would serve as a platform for multi-stakeholder endeavor. It is this center which would permit collaborations with startups and innovators to the advantage of entire society. Thank you. We would discuss this more in all other sessions of this stream, where we would focus tangibly on IoT policy, drone policy and many other. See you in the next session. Jai Hind.